Hey everybody, it has been a while. I wanted to come here and kind of let you guys know what I've been up to. It's been very busy, extremely busy, and my sleep patterns have just been off. But I have been doing the meditations of Dr. Joe Dispenza. They are amazing, and I really mean that. Like, I have been absolutely surprised. Maybe not day after day, but the next day. So every 2 days I get some amazing type of thing that's happening. And the amazing thing that's happening has to do with like my real world, right? So I found Dr. Dispenza because I've been here, doing work, listening to different affirmations and stuff like that, which I have to say over time, like, they can be very powerful, they can be very strong and help you to really right your brain when it comes to what you think about and stuff like that all day. But the thing about Dr. Joe's work, Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, is that you really are going in. I mean, I'm an avid meditation person. I really, way before I stumbled into his work, way before that. I believe that you should be doing it at least once a day at the top of your day to set the tone for your day. I had something pretty jarring happen at the top of 2020, and it just knocked me completely off my square, and I wasn't doing it at all. And I started to feel eventually the void from that late into 2020. Feeling a little sad, a little guilty, like, dang, I'm not doing it anymore. I really let this throw me off. And then I started getting back into it slowly. I started really getting back into it. And then I made a big decision about my life back in June that then required that I go in a very big way to help get some things in line for me within regards to my future, within regards to finance, within regards to just moving forward on a lot of projects. And it took me some time, but the way I stumbled into Dr. Dispenza's work was very roundabout. I'll tell you that right now. It was very roundabout. Like, I wasn't expecting to. I wasn't even looking for it. And the crazy thing about it is, as I keep saying, he was in my YouTube homepage, pointing and all these faces. And then when I finally clicked on him. And the roundabout way in which I did it was, I watched the movie Heal. And I felt it would be a very good resource for a family member. And so I recommended it to them. His story at the top of the story directly connected to this family member of mine. Okay? And I really felt that it would be, I was very inspired when I was just watching it. But they couldn't watch it because they didn't have access to whatever it was they needed to look at, how they needed to get access to it. I think it was Amazon Prime at the time. And we don't live in the same state, not even the same part of the country. So I was just like, okay, well, not much I can do about that. But I started doing more and more research on it. And so then I find a 3-hour video with him talking about it, and it was truly a rabbit hole that took me to find that. I don't even remember what it was. I really don't remember what it was. And I've been meditated so many things out of my brain and out of my body and out of my life and out of my mind that are, I'm not even bothered to try and remember. But I found it. I sent it to them. But before I sent it to them, I said, I think this is the guy that's at the top of the Heal video. It was the guy. So I sent it to them, and I just jumped headlong into it. I sent it to 2 people that night, and then 1 other person in a few days. What journey is for you is for you. What journey is not for you is not for you. So I didn't feel bad that people didn't hook into it, because it's not that type of situation. If you don't want to meditate, if you don't want to believe the things that they say are happening there, then that's fine. But I've always had a mentality that always said there's ways to do things that don't have anything to do with brute force. There's a different way to actually live life. And so I started watching every video on this here YouTube that I could possibly find. And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to take the plunge and buy some of his stuff. So the first thing I bought was, I don't even remember it. I'm at the 2 that I'm actually doing. I'm doing Tuning Into New Potentials and Water Rising. Prior to that, I know I was doing Synchronizing Yourself to synchronizing your energy to abundance, and I think reconstructing the body to a new mind. I think that's what I was doing. I'm just not remembering the actual terminology. I can see them plain as day in my digital products on his website. And in doing them, I have had some profound stuff happen. Like things I wasn't expecting at all. In fact, I don't have major health issues. So me finding this and looking into this was more so about the family member who does have the major health issue, who is technically a quadriplegic but operates as a paraplegic. I felt that they could really benefit from his story and how he healed himself. And then I thought that they might drop into the rabbit hole like me and just really begin to understand that there are different ways to go after things. They did not, and I pretty much had a good idea that they weren't. But I did. And so my thought process is always that there's a different way we're supposed to be living here on this planet. We're not supposed to be living the way we live. We're not supposed to be as stressed out. We're not supposed to be as controlled as we are, and we're not supposed to be as disappointed as we are in living these lives because of the programming and everything. And so stumbling into this, I can give you a little bit of a tidbit. There was a young woman here whose stuff I like to watch. Her name is Sydney Black, and I just was watching a video of hers on how she lost weight without, or regulated her body weight without thinking about it. Just, you know. And she referenced the movie Heal. From there, I started looking at Heal, earthing. I started looking at a lot of stuff. And it was like everything in me was turned all the way up and on, because now we're in the vicinity of what I actually believe, of what I actually know and feel to be true, which is that there's so much of ourselves as human beings on this planet we have not tapped into. And so as a result, we are just on this turnstile that would just keep us going and going and going until we jump off or fall off, essentially. And I just have always felt like that's not a quality of life, and that's not how things are supposed to be. We should be able to be inspired to actually live the lives that we're living, like inspired, ready to really live a happy and good life. And a lot of people just believe, you know, it's day to day and this is how it's going to be, and you know, once it's done, you know, they die and that's it. And they hope that they have all the ducks in a row that the world has told them that they have to have in a row. And so I'm a person that goes against a lot of different things when it comes to that type of mentality. And when I say that, I mean there are a lot of things that you can do in this world, I would say all of them, unconventionally, not according to the mainstream way of doing things. And this is part of that process. He has taken a lot of flack, but the man is a neuroscientist and an author. And I think a chiropractor before he actually had the crisis situation that created everything that people are flocking to right now. And when you study or watch Dr. Dispenza's videos, most people are being turned on by him because of literal serious physical ailments that they're healing. And he's just pointing out it's within you. It's a natural part of the process. You just had not been aware of it. And so I really specialize in manifesting a lifestyle, the life that I want people to understand that they can have. It's not a life that I have a vision for other people. It's just that if you understand that getting up every single day and just simply meditating, you know, will really set the tone for your day, and it'll change a lot of stuff around. It can help you. It is major. And a lot of people just, they're like, oh, you know, I can't really meditate, I fall asleep, and there's really no impetus. But when you watch all of the Dr. Joe Dispenza testimonials, you will see that there is impetus. Now I know I'm past, shoot, I have to be approaching day 22 now of meditation, and I'm doing 40 days straight, just to be very clear, and then continuing to go after that. But I'm trying to hone in on specifically what meditation is for me. But my point is, a lot of people have decided that it's impossible to do simple meditation, just sitting there and letting your mind zone to white noise, and they can't do that. His is a guided meditation that I had to say is amazing. It's just totally different than any meditation that I've heard, and it really takes you in pretty fast. And when I say takes you in, you are immediately in that meditative state pretty fast with doing his guided meditations. I think some of them are better. I think some of them I released and then I jumped into another one, only to find it was like, take for instance, I released Reconstructing the Body to a New Mind, only to find that Tuning Into New Potentials is similar, but it's Tuning Into New Potentials is more along the lines of what I need, and I get in like very fast. So I believe that we have a whole lot of emotional triggers that are holding us back in our lives in a myriad of different ways, from person to person. I think you're just gonna find every single situation. The manifestation of that as a symptom, I think, is illness and different diseases and different conditions that are coming forward. But I think for every single person, the conversation is going to be different, because those emotional things that have happened, those things that they've been stuck with, are different for each person. And so their way of dealing with it is a very different process. And so in doing these meditations, it knocks down, I would say, years of your mental and emotional glue that you're used to having keep you close to so many different things that you're used to. And I'll tell you, I had to say at about day, probably, it was last week, day 15, day 16, when I really noticed that the body is like, we are addicted to the chemicals that our body gives off, which You're going to get into, I think, as you, if you do any of these videos, if you do any of these, if you watch any of the videos, any of the testimonials on here, there's a lot. Specifically, I think that are from people that are coming out of his events when he's hosting them throughout the world. But when you go to the website and you decide to pick out your own meditation, I would suggest that you start off with what really, you know, calls out to you. I have 4 of his meditations, and I've really narrowed it down to 2 that I work with on a daily basis, and 1 specifically is every single day. Once I got that one, that's the one I stuck with every single day. The other ones are I think that they may be something I might jump back to if I feel like I need it, but I don't think so. However, some of the stuff that I've just noticed when it comes to doing this work is my body feeling better. And I wouldn't say, if anything, I don't have like a crisis situation going on. It would be something that happens over time. So something like arthritis, something like, you know, stiffness that turns into, you know, different things that are happening through the body. And I have started to notice it being released. Like the stiffness is not there. I'm moving much quicker. And I'm also losing weight. It's something I've thought about, but it's not, I'm there really for lifestyle, to manifest some changes in my life that I really want. And a lot of the times when we are not succeeding or not doing what it is that we really need to do, there's some type of block there going on that is internal. And this really helps with it. If you get real with yourself, and I think really go for it, you're going to have a breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, because I just keep getting epiphany after epiphany. And it also answers to real tangible questions. I will tell more details. I think by the time I get to day 40, we're going to be really rocking and rolling, honey. But I think even by next week I could be. We'll see. What's it? It's like in 20 days. So we'll see. Dr. Joe Dispenza has tapped into some energy that, for those who are tapping into it, are going to see that the possibilities of life being miraculous are not just possibilities anymore. You gotta go watch these videos. Go watch them. Please. Peace.